watching KTAL News Now. Here's Brittany Defran with your midday news break.
Hello and happy Monday. You may be thinking, this isn't my regularly scheduled programming. Well, my name is Brittany Defran, joining you from the KTAL News Now Digital Streaming Center. And after nearly 60 years on NBC stations, Days of Our Lives will be moving to the Peacock streaming service. But have no fear, this now means you get to watch it on your own schedule. So stick with me here as I bring you the top trending stories locally, nationally, and in pop culture. We're going to go ahead and dive deep into today's top trending stories, but make sure to always tune in weekdays for your midday news break. Starting off with our first story today, we're talking about a string of burglaries starting at 3 a.m. in the 4300 block of Roy Road in Blanchard. This actually happened just a week ago, and a neighbor actually spotted a few masked teens and then reported the suspicious activity to KTAL Parish Sheriff's Office. And after the investigation took place, 4 teens were arrested by the CPSO. And also, now this is new, a mother is arrested for improper supervision of a teen. And so that actually leads us into our question of the day. So this was just extremely interesting to me, something I've never seen before. So go ahead and take down this QR code, and we're going to go ahead and jump into our question of the day. The question of the day, do you believe parents should be held responsible for their child's criminal activity? You know, this was just something I've never seen before happening. So go ahead and populate your response in yes or no, and you'll be able to see those responses live in the moment. And you can always engage with us on social media. We post our poll questions of the day on Facebook, Twitter, and you can always look on our website for the new question of the day. Now, with the start of the school year, schools are definitely getting back into the swing of things, hosting events and bringing the community together, like KTAL Parish Schools hosting a back-to-school celebration. This weekend, the community celebrated at the Turner Elementary with the theme READ, meaning Remember, Education, and Determination, with the intention to encourage kiddos to read and the importance of literacy. Now, literacy is super important, and it's a great way to bring the community together for a family-friendly event. Make kiddos feel like they're having a good time, but make sure that the message is, snuck into there nicely, that literacy is always important. And many events being hosted around the community this past weekend. Community members came together at the Pride in the Park event as well. And this event was actually held at the Betty Virginia Park in Shreveport. The People Acting for Change and Equality organization hosted the festival, their goal to celebrate the LGBTQ community. And now that's super important as well, to make sure that everyone is included, everyone is being celebrated. So they did just that this weekend. On Friday, United Way actually kicked off the various events happening across the community over the weekend with their 99th campaign kickoff actually. According to organizers, last year the money they raised didn't make the cut for their goal, but they're hoping that things are going to look a little different this year. Multiple fundraisers that they host all year round go towards meeting their goal, and one of those events include the Live United Bowl. This money will go towards supporting more than 30 agencies in the Texarkana area. And, if you don't know, United Way does a slew of things to help the community, make sure that they're helping people who are less fortunate and making sure that everyone has the things that they need to get them through the day-to-day life struggles. I know that recently they kicked off also a benefit to help those struggling with utility payments. So definitely go out and support them in all that they do. That's all we have time for today, so thank you so much for tuning in. We'll be back in just a few minutes with more top trending stories.
You're watching KTAL News Now. Here's Brittany Defran with your midday news break.
Hello, welcome back to KTAL News Now. I'm Brittany Defran, your host. We're going to dive deep into these top trending stories. Starting off with this first story here, speaking about runners coming together from hundreds of miles away. More than 50 people went running in Frisco, Texas, together to honor Eliza Fletcher. Fletcher was kidnapped and killed last week while she was out for a jog in Memphis. The runners said they wanted to finish the run for Fletcher. It's amazing to see these runners come together in memory of Fletcher, trying to just show their support for the family, of course. And, it said that there's been groups like this all over coming together to jog and run in support of Fletcher and that tragedy that happened in Memphis and to that Memphis family. In some regional news, a new Amtrak route that can pass through Northwest Louisiana was discussed this weekend. The Southern Rail Commission met to provide an update on Baton Rouge to New Orleans from the I-20 passenger services. The update included a description on how the new service running through the ArkLaTex will link travel between Atlanta and Dallas. So if you're a frequent traveler, this is something you may want to pay attention to. They also discussed on how they can raise funds to allow Amtrak to pass through Shreveport. And so, for those frequent travelers, this is something that can be very beneficial, allowing a more easy and accessible way to travel back and forth through these various cities, especially Atlanta and Dallas. Those are two major cities that a lot of people usually would like to travel back and forth from. Those are also two large airports as well. So providing this rail commission as well, an Amtrak route that could really pose a lot of uptick for travel people in the community. This past weekend was a lot happened, especially in remembrance of 9/11. 9/11 is a day to reflect and remember that tragic day that took the lives of so many. And so in the Texarkana Regional Airport hosted a 9/11 memorial with a piece of the Pentagon. The airport staff gathered at the memorial to share stories of where they were and how 9/11 actually impacted their lives as well. And so as we continue to look at remembrances that occurred around the community for 9/11, we looked at what happened here in Shreveport. People in the community actually gathered at the YMCA in Northwest Louisiana to climb 110 stairs. That's right. That's the amount of stairs that those first responders climbed in order to make sure that others made it out alive. And so those first responders who climbed the Twin Towers, those out there at the YMCA were out there climbing those stairs as well to remember those individuals and in support of them. There was a number of 9/11 remembrances and tributes out to those who lost their lives, and it's a very sad day, but a day to reflect that, a day that really changed our nation as a whole as well. Thank you again so much for tuning in. We are so excited to be launching the KTAL News Now show, and we're going to be back here tomorrow. So stay tuned, and we'll see you then.